Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're doing something a little crazy. We are counting down the greatest Nintendo Switch titles in a classic top 10 format. By bridging the gap between a handheld device and a home console, the Switch has just had this absolutely legendary run, right? It built a library packed from top to bottom with unbelievable experiences. But today, we're forcing ourselves to do the impossible. We're narrowing down this massive library to highlight only the absolute best of the best. So, we're going on a little journey through the console's incredible history to answer one massive question. A question that sparks fierce, endless debates in the gaming community. What is the single greatest Nintendo Switch game of all time? We've combed through the data, the reviews, the historical impact, the whole shebang to bring you this definitive countdown. From spooky hotels to sprawling open worlds, we're looking at the games that literally defined a generation. All right, kicking off the top 10, the foundational hits. Let's look at the early titles that set the bar incredibly high right out of the gate. Coming in at number 10 is Luigi's Mansion 3. Released in 2019, this game did something really wonderful. Nintendo finally took Luigi out of his famous brother's shadow and gave him one of the most charming adventures on the entire console. This standout exclusive is just packed with clever environmental puzzles and really creative ghost-catching mechanics, all powered by the delightfully satisfying Poltergust G00. You even get to deploy your gelatinous clone, Gooigi, to slip through grates and solve dual character puzzles. It's a game dripping with personality, it's spooky without ever crossing the line into actually being scary, just a brilliant, polished gem. Moving on up to number 9, we have the 2017 globe-trotting adventure that reinvented 3D platforming once again. Yep, Super Mario Odyssey. When the Switch launched, it desperately needed massive system sellers, and man, Mario delivered in a huge way. But this wasn't just your standard platformer. It completely flipped the script on how we interact with the world, and it all revolves around one crucial, sentient accessory. That's right, step 1, throw Cappy. Step 2, possess enemies and objects. Step 3, find endless secrets. The addition of Cappy created this amazing, intuitive gameplay loop. You throw him, take control of the environment, and use those wildly varied new abilities to uncover secrets everywhere. That possession mechanic created limitless gameplay possibilities. It makes exploration in every single kingdom constantly rewarding. You aren't just running and jumping anymore, you are actually becoming the environment to solve puzzles. Coming in hot at number 8, the relentless EMMI robots await in Metroid Dread. This 2021 masterpiece ended a massive 2-decade wait for a brand new 2D Samus adventure. And let me tell you, it completely revived the 2D Metroidvania genre for a whole new generation. It features incredibly tight controls and some wonderfully challenging boss battles. But the real stars of the show, those nerve-wracking encounters with the EMMI robots. They turn the game into this tense game of cat and mouse, easily cementing Dread as one of the finest action platformers Nintendo has ever produced. Okay, moving into our next tier, multiplayer and strategic masterpieces. We're looking at games redefining competition. Smashing into the number 7 spot, pun absolutely intended, is the 2018 behemoth, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This isn't just a fighting game, folks. It is a sprawling, chaotic, high-energy celebration of absolutely everything we love about gaming. The sheer scope of this title is just staggering. With over 80 playable fighters, it offers an astonishing, playable museum of gaming history. And it genuinely caters to everyone. Fierce competitive battles with the pros? Check. Throwing your friends off stages using ridiculous items in a casual party setting? Double check. It completely lives up to its ultimate moniker and remains simply one of the greatest fighting games ever made. Down to number 6, we have the 2019 strategy RPG Fire Emblem Three Houses. This title took a beloved franchise and expanded it massively. It blended the series' signature deep tactical combat with incredibly meaningful character relationships. I mean, you might be having a peaceful cup of tea with your students one moment, and then desperately trying to keep them alive in an intense permadeath battle the next. The game features multiple branching storylines, meaning every single choice you make actually matters. Each playthrough offers a completely different perspective on what is arguably one of Nintendo's richest narratives ever crafted. Rounding out our top 5 is the ultimate multiplayer experience, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Originally released for the Switch in 2017, this is the definitive version of one of the greatest racing games ever created. It features perfectly refined gameplay and incredible track design. But the reason it stays so high on this list year after year, the unprecedented years of amazing DLC support it received, constantly keeping the experience fresh. It is the undisputed ultimate multiplayer game for families and friends alike, even if we've all felt that universal heartbreak of getting hit by a blue shell right at the finish line. We've all been there. Let's move into our top tier now. Massive worlds, global phenomena, escaping into epic adventures. Taking the number 4 spot is a game that became a literal global phenomenon, Animal Crossing: New Horizons. Releasing in 2020, this became so much more than just a video game for millions of people. It provided a comforting escape when the world needed it most. Through its relaxing island-building gameplay, endless customization options, and incredibly charming social interactions, it captured the cultural zeitgeist perfectly. It empowered players to just take a deep breath and create their own perfect, peaceful little corner of the world. Now, transitioning from a relaxing island to a vast, high-stakes battlefield, number 3 goes to Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Released in 2022, Monolith Soft delivered a truly epic RPG here. This game is massive. We're talking a deeply emotional story, unforgettable characters, and seamless open-world traversal across the backs of literal colossal titans. Between its incredibly deep combat system and the sheer amount of adventure packed into the cartridge, it easily cements itself as one of the most ambitious role-playing games on the platform. We have reached the final stages of our countdown. The open-world revolution redefining a franchise. Just missing the top spot at number 2 is the 2017 launch title that helped propel the Switch into gaming history, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. This wasn't just a great game. It was a revolutionary adventure that completely redefined what a Zelda game could be. In this version of Hyrule, every single mountain invites you to climb it. Every puzzle encourages pure creativity. Every discovery you make feels incredibly earned. It's a masterpiece that set the standard for the entire generation. So, Breath of the Wild versus Tears of the Kingdom. How do you top a revolution? Breath of the Wild gave us that revolutionary open world, right? But its successor, Tears of the Kingdom, took that foundation and brilliantly expanded it. It didn't just give us the same map, it expanded the world massively above into the sky and deep, deep below Hyrule, all while adding these incredibly ingenious building mechanics that completely changed how you interact with the environment. All right, it is time for the final boss of our list, the pinnacle of game design, the ultimate victory. Taking the absolute number 1 spot on our countdown is the 2023 masterpiece, The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. This is the pinnacle of the Nintendo Switch library. By building upon Breath of the Wild, it achieved something staggering, an unmatched sense of player freedom. The building mechanics empower you to solve problems in literally countless ways. If you can imagine a machine or a solution, you can probably build it. Whether that's a majestic flying machine or, let's be honest, an overly complex device designed entirely to torture innocent Koroks. Because of this profound creativity, nearly every adventure and every puzzle solution feels uniquely your own. As the quote goes, it stands as a landmark achievement in game design and an unforgettable finale to the Switch era. It isn't just a great sequel, it is a masterclass in giving the player total agency. It's a sprawling, beautiful, endlessly inventive experience that completely cements its legacy as the absolute height of what the Nintendo Switch can do. Well, we've reached the end of our explainer countdown, but as always, a top 10 list is just the beginning of the conversation. Now we want to turn it over to you. Looking at this incredible library of games, which title is your personal number 1? And as we look toward the horizon, how on earth will the next generation of Nintendo possibly top these? Think about that and keep exploring.